An engine can survive low oil. It can survive dirty oil. But the moment oil pressure drops to zero, you have seconds. Not minutes, seconds. I've seen engines go from perfectly quiet to complete internal damage in under 30 seconds. That's a $5,000 to $10,000 failure, caused by something most drivers don't even understand. No explosion, no dramatic warning, just silence. Then permanent damage. By the end of this video, you'll know exactly what happens inside your engine the moment oil pressure disappears, which parts fail first, and how to react in time to save it. And near the end, I'll show you one mistake that keeps engines running, even after oil pressure is already gone. What zero oil pressure really means. Most people think no oil pressure equals no oil. That's not accurate. There can still be oil in the engine, but without pressure, it's not reaching where it needs to go. No flow to bearings, no film between metal parts. And that's when damage begins instantly. What happens inside, second by second? Number 9, first 1 to 2 seconds. Oil film still exists. This is the only reason engines don't fail instantly. There's a thin oil film already on metal surfaces. What makes it different? It's residual protection, left over from when pressure was still present. I've disassembled engines that lost pressure briefly and showed almost no damage because the film held just long enough. Oil analysis in these cases often shows no major spike in wear metals. But here's the key detail. That film disappears quickly. The drawback: you don't feel anything yet. Engine sounds normal, which is exactly why people keep driving. But the next stage is where things start changing fast. Number 8, 3 to 5 seconds. Boundary lubrication begins. Now the oil film is thinning. Metal parts are no longer fully separated. What makes it different? Lubrication shifts from full film to boundary lubrication. That means more friction, more heat, more direct contact. I've seen camshaft lobes start showing early scoring in this phase. Oil analysis later reveals increased iron content, a sign that metal contact has begun. Most people don't realize damage starts before you hear anything. The drawback: still no warning light in many cases, no noise yet, but internally, wear has already started. Number 7, 5 to 10 seconds. Bearing contact begins. This is where things get serious. Crankshaft bearings rely completely on oil pressure. Without it, they begin to touch the crankshaft. What makes it different? Bearings are soft metal, designed to absorb damage. I've disassembled engines after short pressure loss events and found bearing material already worn, not failed, but damaged. Oil analysis often shows elevated copper and lead. That's bearing material. Once that starts, it doesn't reverse. The drawback: engine may still run smoothly. Driver feels nothing, but internal damage is already permanent. Number 6, 10 to 20 seconds. Heat builds rapidly. Now friction is increasing fast. Without oil flow, heat has nowhere to go. What makes it different? Oil doesn't just lubricate, it removes heat. I've seen bearing surfaces discolor from heat in this stage. That's a sign of thermal damage. Oil analysis in these cases shows oxidation spikes and degraded viscosity. This is where things get serious. Because now, you're not just wearing parts, you're overheating them. The drawback: still no dramatic symptom. Maybe slight noise, but easy to ignore. And the next stage is where damage becomes irreversible. Number 5, 20 to 30 seconds. Early knocking begins. This is usually the first audible sign. A light knocking or ticking. What makes it different? Clearances are now changing. Bearings are wearing fast. I've disassembled engines where this sound lasted less than a minute, and internal damage was already severe. Crankshaft journals scratched. Bearing surfaces worn unevenly. Oil analysis later shows extreme spikes in wear metals. Most people don't realize that sound isn't the beginning of damage. It's the confirmation that damage has already happened. The drawback: some drivers keep going, hoping it will go away. But the next stage is where engines don't recover. Number 4, 30 to 60 seconds. Bearing failure accelerates. Now we're past early damage. This is where failure begins. Bearings are no longer just wearing, they're breaking down. What makes it different? The oil film is completely gone. Metal is sliding directly on metal. I've disassembled engines that ran under zero oil pressure for less than a minute and found bearing material smeared, crankshaft scoring, heat damage across journals. Oil analysis after these events shows extreme levels of copper, lead, and iron. That's not normal wear. That's failure in progress. Most people don't realize bearings don't fail all at once. They degrade rapidly, then collapse. The drawback? Engine may still run, but it's already damaged beyond simple repair. Number 3, 1 to 2 minutes. Oil pump starts cavitating. Now the system itself begins to collapse. Without proper oil flow, the oil pump starts pulling air. What makes it different? Air reduces lubrication even further. Foamed oil cannot maintain pressure. I've seen oil pumps with scoring and internal damage after these events. Even if the engine survives, the lubrication system may never recover fully. Oil analysis often shows aeration and unstable viscosity behavior. This is where things get serious. Because now, even if pressure returns briefly, it's inconsistent. The drawback: driver may see pressure come back and assume it's safe. But internally, the system is already compromised. Number 2 to 3 minutes. Connecting rod knock becomes severe. This is the sound no mechanic wants to hear. A deep, rhythmic knock. What makes it different? This is not minor wear. This is bearing clearance failure. I've disassembled engines after this stage and found spun rod bearings, severe crankshaft damage, metal debris throughout the oil system. Oil analysis at this point shows catastrophic wear levels. Metal particles everywhere, circulating through every component. Most people don't realize, once rod knock starts, you're not preventing damage, you're watching it happen. The drawback? Some engines still run for a short time, which gives drivers false confidence. But the next stage is where everything stops. Number 1, 3 to 5 minutes. Engine seizure or total failure. This is the end. Bearings fail completely. Parts overheat beyond tolerance. Components expand and lock. What makes it different? This is no longer wear. This is mechanical failure. I've seen engines seize completely or throw a connecting rod through the block. Either way, the engine is done. No repair, only replacement. Oil analysis is no longer relevant here because the system has collapsed. Most people don't realize this entire process can happen in minutes, not hours, not days, minutes. The engine didn't fail because pressure dropped. This is the part most drivers never hear. Oil pressure dropping to zero doesn't always destroy the engine. Continuing to run it does. I've seen engines lose oil pressure and survive, and I've seen others fail completely. Within minutes, same situation, different outcome. The difference? What the driver did in the first few seconds. Mistake number 1, it's probably just a sensor. This is the most common and most expensive assumption. The oil light comes on. The engine still runs, so drivers think it's probably just a faulty sensor. And they keep driving. I've disassembled engines where this exact decision led to spun bearings, crankshaft damage, complete engine failure. Oil analysis afterward showed extreme wear in a very short time. Most people don't realize oil pressure sensors fail sometimes, but not often enough to take that risk. If the light comes on, you treat it as real. Every time. Mistake number 2, driving just a little further. This is where things get serious. You're close to home, close to a shop, so you keep going. Maybe 1 minute, maybe 2. But now you know what happens in that time. I've seen engines that could have been saved, destroyed because of this decision. The cost difference: a tow, $50 to $100. An engine, $5,000 to $10,000. Most people don't realize distance doesn't matter. Time does, and time is measured in seconds. Mistake number 3, restarting the engine after it shuts off. This is one of the worst things you can do. The engine stalls. You try to restart it. What makes it different? Now you're repeating the entire damage cycle again, with already weakened components. I've seen engines that might have survived initial damage fail completely after repeated restart attempts. Oil analysis in these cases shows extreme contamination and metal debris, because each restart accelerates wear exponentially. Mistake number 4, ignoring the cause after the event. Let's say the engine survives, pressure comes back, noise goes away, so you keep driving. This is a mistake, because something caused that pressure drop, and that cause is still there. I've disassembled engines weeks after a pressure loss event and found progressive damage. Bearing wear worsening. Oil passages partially blocked. Pump performance reduced. Oil analysis often shows ongoing elevated wear metals. Most people don't realize survival doesn't mean recovery. It means delayed failure. Mistake number 5, assuming good oil prevents pressure loss. This is the hidden truth. You can use the best oil in the world, but if pressure drops, it doesn't matter. What makes it different? Oil quality affects durability, but pressure controls delivery. I've seen engines running premium oils like Mobil 1, Amsoil, still fail when pressure dropped, because no oil, no matter how good, can protect without flow. This is where everything comes together, because the system matters more than the product. What actually saves an engine? After years of seeing these failures, here's what works. The moment you see the oil light, turn off the engine immediately. Not in a minute, not after the next turn. Immediately. Then, check oil level. Look for leaks. Do not restart until the cause is known. That one decision can save your engine. Final warning. Oil pressure loss is not a warning. It's an emergency. Every second the engine runs without pressure, damage is happening. And by the time you hear noise, it's already too late. If you've watched this far, you now understand something most drivers never do. Engines don't fail randomly. They fail after a series of small decisions. But there's one more thing most people still get wrong, even when they react correctly. It happens during oil changes, and it can cause pressure loss without warning. I broke that down in the next video. Click here to watch it. Before one small mistake turns into a complete engine failure.